Hello, everyone. Welcome to the English podcast, where we help you learn English while exploring fascinating topics from around the world. My name is Adam, and I am thrilled to have you join us today for a very special episode.
And I'm Julia. We are so excited to be your hosts for this session. Thank you for tuning in to spend some time with us. We hope you're ready for an interesting and fun conversation that will not only help you practice your English, but also teach you something new about the world.
Absolutely. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both festive and universal. No matter where you are in the world, the New Year is an event that almost everyone celebrates. But here's the fun part. People celebrate it in so many different and unique ways depending on their country, culture, and traditions.
That's right. In today's episode, we're going to explore how different countries welcome the New Year. From fireworks in the United States to eating special foods in Japan, there are countless fascinating traditions to discuss.
And as always, we'll make sure that the language we use is clear and easy to understand, especially for those of you who are beginner learners of English. This way, you can learn about the world while also improving your English skills.
Now, you might be wondering why we chose this topic. Let's take a moment to think about why it's important to learn about the way other cultures celebrate special occasions. Adam, why do you think this is valuable for our listeners?
Well, Julia, learning about other cultures is like opening a window to a new world. It helps us understand how people live, think, and celebrate differently from us. This knowledge can make us more open-minded and help us appreciate the diversity of the world.
Exactly. And when you're learning a new language like English, knowing about cultural traditions can give you great conversation starters. For example, you might meet someone from another country, and asking about their New Year traditions can lead to a meaningful and enjoyable conversation.
Yes, it can also help you build stronger connections with people. When you show interest in someone's culture, it shows respect and curiosity. That often makes people happy and willing to share their experiences with you.
And let's not forget that learning about traditions also teaches us new vocabulary. When we talk about New Year celebrations, you'll hear words and phrases that you can use in your own conversations.
So, by the end of this episode, not only will you learn how different countries celebrate New Year, but you'll also pick up new English words and phrases to talk about holidays, traditions, and celebrations.
That's why we think this topic is perfect for today. It's fun, educational, and it's a great way to practice English while celebrating the joy of the new year.
Now that we've set the stage, let's jump into our journey around the world to discover some amazing New Year traditions. Shall we get started?
Yes, let's begin.
Let's begin by understanding the basics. What exactly is the New Year, and why is it so important to people all over the world? Well, in its simplest form, the New Year marks the beginning of a new calendar year. It's the day when the old year officially ends and a fresh one begins. For many cultures, it's a significant moment because it represents the idea of renewal, hope, and starting over. People often see it as an opportunity to leave behind the challenges, mistakes, or difficulties of the past year and look forward to a future filled with possibilities, growth, and achievements.
That's a great explanation, Adam. To add to that, the concept of New Year varies depending on the calendar a culture follows. For most of the world today, we celebrate the New Year based on the Gregorian calendar, which is the calendar commonly used in international contexts. The Gregorian calendar was introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582 to replace the Julian calendar, and it is now recognized as the global standard for keeping track of time. According to this calendar, the New Year begins on January 1st, which is why most countries celebrate it on this date. However, there are other calendars, like the Chinese lunar calendar or the Islamic calendar, that define the start of their respective New Years differently.
Exactly, Julia. That's why it's so fascinating to explore New Year celebrations around the world. Even though the date may vary for some cultures, the essence of celebrating a fresh start and welcoming new opportunities is something that unites people universally. Now let's talk about why people celebrate the New Year. If we think about it, the New Year isn't just about marking a change in the calendar. For many people, It's a deeply symbolic event that holds a lot of emotional and cultural significance. One of the main reasons people celebrate is because it gives them a chance to reflect on their lives. They look back on the year that has passed, what went well, what didn't, and what lessons they learned.
That's so true, Adam. The new year is also a time when people feel inspired to make changes in their lives. This is where the idea of New Year's resolutions comes in. Resolutions are promises or goals that people set for themselves at the beginning of the year. These can range from small personal habits like exercising more or eating healthier to big life-changing decisions like starting a new career or moving to a different city. It's like giving yourself a roadmap to improve and grow in the year ahead.
Yes, and there's something powerful about starting fresh. People often feel a sense of optimism and motivation during the new year. It's a time when they believe that anything is possible, and they have the entire year ahead to work on their dreams and aspirations. Celebrating the new year allows people to share that hope and positivity with their loved ones, which is why it's such a joyous occasion.
And let's not forget that celebrating the new year is also about community and togetherness. Whether it's family gatherings, parties with friends, or large public events, people come together to share in the excitement of welcoming a new chapter. It's a time when differences are set aside and everyone unites in the spirit of celebration and hope.
That's right, Julia. And as we dive deeper into the different ways countries celebrate the new year, we'll see how each culture adds its unique flavor to this universal theme of renewal and optimism. Whether it's through food, music, or special rituals, the new year is a time for everyone to celebrate life and look forward to what's ahead.
Absolutely. So now that we've covered the general overview, let's move on to explore how specific countries celebrate this wonderful occasion. Get ready to take a trip around the world with us.
Let's start with the United States, one of the most iconic places for New Year celebrations. When people think of New Year's Eve in the U.S., the first image that often comes to mind is the ball drop in Times Square, New York City. This tradition dates back to 1907 and has become a global spectacle, with millions watching it on television and online every year. At exactly 11:59 p.m., a giant, sparkling crystal ball begins its descent from a pole atop one Times Square, taking 1 minute to reach the bottom as the clock strikes midnight. The crowd, numbering in the hundreds of thousands, counts down the final seconds, creating an electric atmosphere filled with excitement and anticipation. Fireworks light up the sky, people cheer, and the celebration symbolizes the start of a fresh year full of hope.
Yes, Adam. And while the Times Square ball drop is one of the most famous events, it's not the only way people celebrate in the United States. Across the country, many families and communities enjoy parades, such as the Rose Parade in Pasadena, California, which features beautiful flower-covered floats, marching bands, and equestrian units. Another common tradition is hosting or attending parties where friends and family gather to eat, dance, and share resolutions. For many, the new year is not just about the midnight countdown, but also about spending time with loved ones and enjoying the festive spirit. Now, let's travel to China, where New Year celebrations are completely different from those in the United States. While China does recognize January 1st as the start of the calendar year, the main celebration is the Chinese New Year, also known as the Spring Festival. Unlike the Gregorian New Year, the Chinese New Year follows the lunar calendar and falls between late January and mid-February. Homes and streets are adorned with bright red decorations like lanterns and couplets, which symbolize good fortune and ward off evil spirits. One of the most exciting traditions is the dragon dance, where performers carry long, colorful dragon costumes and dance through the streets to the beat of drums. The dragon is a symbol of strength, prosperity, and good luck, making it a central feature of the festivities.
That's absolutely fascinating, Julia. The Chinese New Year is also rich with symbolism, and every element has a deeper meaning. For example, families prepare large feasts with dishes that represent health, wealth, and happiness. Dumplings, for instance, are believed to bring wealth because their shape resembles ancient Chinese gold ingots. Another unique aspect of Chinese New Year is the tradition of giving red envelopes filled with money, especially to children. These envelopes, called hongbao, are a way of wishing prosperity and success in the coming year. The celebration concludes with the Lantern Festival, where people light paper lanterns and release them into the sky, symbolizing letting go of the old and welcoming the new. Next, let's head to India, a country known for its diversity, where New Year celebrations vary widely depending on the region and culture. While January 1st is celebrated as the New Year by many, some Indian communities view other festivals as their symbolic New Year. For example, Diwali, the Festival of Lights, is considered a New Year celebration for many Hindus. During Diwali, people light oil lamps, burst firecrackers, and perform prayers to Goddess Lakshmi, the deity of wealth and prosperity. It's a time for cleaning homes, wearing new clothes, and starting fresh financial accounts for the year ahead.
That's right, Adam. And because India is such a large and culturally rich country, the ways people celebrate New Year vary from state to state. In Punjab, the Sikh community celebrates Baisakhi, a harvest festival that marks the start of the Punjabi New Year. In Tamil Nadu, people celebrate Puthandu with traditional foods and rituals. Each state has its own unique traditions, and while the dates and customs may differ, the underlying theme of new beginnings and hope remains the same. Now, let's move to Japan, where New Year, or Oshogatsu, is one of the most important holidays of the year. Japanese families have a tradition of thoroughly cleaning their homes before New Year's Day, a practice known as osoji. This symbolizes getting rid of the dirt and clutter of the past year, both literally and metaphorically, to welcome a fresh start. Another significant tradition is the ringing of the temple bell, or Joya no Kane, which happens 108 times at Buddhist temples on New Year's Eve. The ringing is believed to cleanse people of the 108 earthly desires and sins, preparing them for a pure and renewed year.
That's so interesting, Julia. Japanese New Year celebrations also include unique customs like sending New Year greeting cards, called nengajo. These cards are sent to family, friends, and colleagues and are carefully designed with special messages and artwork. Additionally, people enjoy special foods called osechi ryori, which are beautifully arranged in lacquer boxes and include dishes that symbolize health, happiness, and prosperity. For example, black beans represent hard work, and herring roe signifies fertility. These traditions reflect the Japanese emphasis on harmony, gratitude, and preparation for a successful year ahead. Heading over to Brazil, New Year's celebrations are all about joy, energy, and vibrant traditions. One of the most iconic celebrations takes place on the beaches, especially in Rio de Janeiro, where millions of people gather to watch stunning fireworks displays over the ocean. It's a breathtaking sight as the fireworks light up the sky, reflecting off the waves. Brazilians also have a unique tradition of wearing white on New Year's Eve, which symbolizes peace and good luck for the coming year.
In Spain, one of the most charming New Year traditions is the custom of eating 12 grapes at the stroke of midnight. Each grape represents 1 month of the upcoming year, and eating all 12 grapes as the clock chimes 12 times is believed to bring good luck and prosperity. Families and friends gather around their tables, and the moment becomes a delightful mix of excitement and laughter as everyone tries to eat the grapes in time.
Finally, let's visit South Africa, where New Year's celebrations are full of energy, music, and colorful parades. In cities like Cape Town, street parades and carnivals take center stage. People dress in vibrant costumes, and marching bands play upbeat music, creating a lively atmosphere that brings communities together. For many South Africans, the New Year is not just about welcoming a new calendar year, but also about embracing unity, joy, and hope for the future.
Each of these countries has its own special way of celebrating, and it's amazing to see how culture, tradition, and history shape these customs. What unites them all is the universal theme of hope and renewal. Let's continue exploring.
As we've seen, New Year celebrations vary greatly from country to country, but some traditions are so unique, or even downright strange, that they deserve special mention. Let's start with Denmark. Imagine this. You wake up on New Year's Day to find your front doorstep covered in broken plates and dishes. That's right. In Denmark, it's a tradition to throw old plates at the doors of friends and neighbors as a way of wishing them good luck and happiness for the year ahead. The more broken plates you find outside your home, the luckier you are believed to be. It's a quirky custom that not only spreads goodwill, but also shows the strong bond between friends and family in Danish culture. It's like saying, "I value you so much that I broke my plates just for you."
That's such a fun and unusual tradition, Adam. Now, let's travel to Ecuador for another fascinating New Year custom. In Ecuador, people celebrate the New Year by burning paper dolls or effigies known as Años Viejos, which means old years. These effigies are often made to look like politicians, celebrities, or even cartoon characters, and they represent the past year's troubles, mistakes, or bad luck. At midnight, these dolls are set on fire in a symbolic act of cleansing and renewal. The flames signify getting rid of the old to make room for the new. Sometimes people even jump over the burning effigies to bring good luck. It's a fiery and dramatic way to say goodbye to the old year and welcome the new one with hope and positivity.
Burning effigies is such a powerful way to let go of the past, Julia. Traditions like these remind us how creative and meaningful New Year customs can be. And while they may seem unusual to outsiders, they carry deep significance for the people who practice them. It's all about creating a fresh start in a way that resonates with your cultural values and beliefs.
Now, while these unique traditions are fascinating, there are also some common themes that unite New Year celebrations around the world. One of the most popular elements is, of course, fireworks. No matter where you are, you're likely to see the night sky light up with dazzling displays of colorful explosions as the clock strikes midnight. Fireworks are not just beautiful to watch. They also have symbolic meanings in many cultures. For example, in China, fireworks are believed to drive away evil spirits and bad luck, making them an essential part of the celebration.
That's true, Julia. Another universal theme is food. Special meals are often prepared and shared during New Year celebrations, and the types of food served can carry significant meanings. For example, in Italy, people eat lentils on New Year's Eve because their coin-like shape symbolizes wealth and prosperity. In Japan, as we mentioned earlier, osechi ryori dishes are carefully prepared to ensure good fortune in the coming year. And in the southern United States, it's common to eat black-eyed peas, collard greens, and cornbread, which represent luck, money, and gold, respectively. Food plays such an important role because it brings people together and adds to the festive spirit.
You're absolutely right, Adam. And that brings us to another important theme: family time. Across cultures, New Year celebrations are often a time for families to come together, share stories, and create lasting memories. Whether it's through traditional rituals, festive meals, or simply enjoying each other's company, the New Year provides an opportunity to strengthen family bonds and reflect on the importance of loved ones in our lives. It's a moment to express gratitude for the past year and set intentions for the future as a family.
And let's not forget that New Year's Eve and New Year's Day are also about connecting with friends and the wider community. Whether you're breaking plates in Denmark, burning effigies in Ecuador, or simply sharing a meal with loved ones, the New Year is a time when people feel a sense of togetherness. It's a reminder that while we may have different customs and traditions, we all share the same hopes for happiness, success, and peace in the coming year.
Exactly, Adam. And as we've seen, whether it's through strange and unique customs or more familiar themes like fireworks and family gatherings, New Year traditions around the world reflect the rich diversity and shared humanity of our global community. It's amazing how much we can learn about each other and ourselves by exploring these traditions,
I couldn't agree more, Julia. So, as we wrap up this segment, let's take a moment to appreciate the creativity and meaning behind these New Year customs. They're a beautiful reminder of how we celebrate life, hope, and renewal, no matter where we come from.
Absolutely. And in our next segment, we'll talk about how you can incorporate some of these traditions into your own New Year celebrations, no matter where you are.
Julia, after exploring all these fascinating New Year traditions from around the world, I have to say, it's tough to pick a favorite, but if I had to choose, I think I'd go with the Danish tradition of breaking plates. It's such a unique and heartfelt way of expressing goodwill and friendship. Imagine the joy of waking up to find your doorstep piled high with broken plates, each one a sign that someone cares about you and wishes you the best for the coming year. I love how this tradition combines fun, symbolism, and a deep sense of community. It's like saying, we're all in this together, and I want you to have an amazing year. How about you, Julia? Which tradition stood out the most to you?
That's a wonderful choice, Adam. For me, I think the burning of effigies in Ecuador really captures my imagination. There's something so powerful about symbolically letting go of the past and embracing a fresh start. The fact that people create effigies that represent their struggles, mistakes, or challenges from the past year and then literally burn them to ashes is such a bold and cathartic gesture. It's like saying, I'm leaving all my worries and regrets behind, and I'm ready to face the new year with hope and positivity. Plus, the fiery visuals and the sense of renewal it brings must be incredible to witness. I think it's a tradition we could all learn something from, don't you?
Absolutely, Julia. Burning away the past to make room for the future is such a profound concept. And I think that's what makes New Year celebrations so special. They're not just about parties and fireworks. They're about taking a moment to reflect on where we've been and where we want to go. It's amazing how every culture has its unique way of doing this, yet the underlying themes of hope, renewal, and connection are universal.
Exactly, Adam. And that's why learning about these traditions is so important. It not only broadens our horizons, but also helps us appreciate the shared values that bring us together as a global community. Speaking of sharing, I'd love to know how our listeners celebrate New Year.
That's a great idea, Julia. So, to all of you listening to the English Globe podcast, we'd love to hear from you. How do you celebrate New Year in your country? Do you have any special traditions, rituals, or customs that make the occasion unique for you and your family? Maybe there's something we haven't covered in today's episode that you'd like to share with us.
Yes, please share your experiences with us. You can leave a comment below if you're listening on YouTube, or you can send us a message on social media. Our handle is at the English Globe, and we're always excited to connect with our listeners from all over the world. Tell us what makes your New Year celebrations special. Do you watch fireworks, eat a specific food, or gather with loved ones? Or perhaps you have a tradition that's completely unique to your region.
And don't worry about your English. Remember, this is a safe space to practice. Whether you're just starting out or you've been learning for a while, we'd love to hear your stories. Who knows? Your tradition might inspire someone else to try something new this new year.
Exactly. And we might even feature some of your stories in a future episode. Imagine how cool it would be to hear your tradition shared with listeners from around the world. So don't be shy, reach out to us, and let's celebrate the diversity of New Year traditions together.
Julia, I have to say, interacting with our listeners and learning about their experiences is one of my favorite parts of hosting this podcast. It's amazing how much we can learn from each other, and it's always so inspiring to see how our listeners celebrate life and embrace new beginnings.
I couldn't agree more, Adam. So, to everyone out there, thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Your stories, questions, and insights make the English Globe podcast so much richer. We can't wait to hear about your New Year traditions and to continue exploring the wonderful world of language and culture with you.
And with that, let's wrap up this segment. Stay tuned, because we'll be back soon with some tips on how to make the most of your New Year resolutions while improving your English skills. It's going to be an exciting and practical discussion you won't want to miss.
That's right. Until then, keep celebrating, keep learning, and keep sharing your stories. We'll see you in the next segment.
So far in this episode, we've explored how New Year is celebrated in various countries around the world, and we've even uncovered some fun and unique traditions that make this global event so special. Now, we want to bring the focus back to something more personal and directly relevant to you, our amazing listeners. Since this is the English Globe podcast, we believe that every occasion, including New Year, can be transformed into an opportunity to improve your English skills. So, in this segment, we'll discuss how you can celebrate the New Year while also learning and practicing English in creative and effective ways.
That's such a great idea, Adam. The New Year is not only about celebrating with friends and family or watching fireworks, it's also a symbolic time of fresh starts and new opportunities. And what better way to embrace that fresh start than by working on your English language goals while you're enjoying the festivities? Whether it's through activities like watching movies, writing resolutions, or participating in conversations, there are so many ways to incorporate English learning into your New Year celebrations. Let's dive into some practical ideas that our listeners can try out this year.
One of the easiest and most enjoyable ways to combine learning English with celebrating New Year is by watching movies or TV shows in English that are centered around this festive time. For instance, classic films like When Harry Met Sally, or even fun TV episodes that showcase New Year's parties, are excellent choices. Not only are they entertaining, but they're also a rich source of everyday English vocabulary, natural expressions, and cultural insights. While you're watching, try turning on English subtitles to help you follow along with the dialogue more easily. Pay close attention to the way characters greet each other, describe their feelings, and talk about their plans for the future. You can even pause the movie to repeat phrases out loud or write down interesting words and expressions to practice later.
That's a fantastic suggestion, Adam. I think movies and TV shows give us a chance to experience authentic English in a context that feels natural and engaging. For example, you might hear characters saying phrases like, "Here's to a fantastic new year," or "Let's make this year unforgettable." Watching these scenes not only helps you improve your listening comprehension, but also allows you to observe cultural traditions and social norms related to New Year celebrations. And don't forget, you can rewatch your favorite parts multiple times to really absorb the language and even practice mimicking the pronunciation and intonation. Another meaningful way to celebrate the New Year while improving your English is by writing your New Year resolutions in English. Resolutions are personal goals or promises you make to yourself for the coming year, and they can be a wonderful tool for practicing both writing and thinking in English. Start by making a list of things you want to achieve in the new year, whether they're related to learning English, your career, or personal growth. For example, you could write something like, "This year, I will practice speaking English for 20 minutes every day," or "I will read at least one book in English each month." Writing your resolutions in English encourages you to think critically about your goals while also helping you expand your vocabulary and sentence-building skills.
I love that idea, Julia, because it combines self-reflection with language practice. And what's even better is that you can revisit your resolutions throughout the year to track your progress and refine your English writing skills. To make it even more interactive, try sharing your resolutions with friends or family who are also learning English, or post them online in a learning community. Not only will you feel motivated to stick to your goals, but you'll also get valuable feedback and encouragement from others. Plus, writing in English about your ambitions and dreams can feel incredibly empowering. It's a way of expressing yourself in a new language while working toward a brighter future. Another great way to celebrate the new year and practice your English is by engaging in conversations with others about how you plan to spend the holiday or what you're looking forward to in the year ahead. If you have friends or family members who are also learning English, you can set aside some time to discuss your plans, resolutions, or even your favorite New Year memories in English. Use this opportunity to practice common phrases like, "What are your plans for New Year's Eve?" or Do you have any resolutions for the new year? These types of conversations help you build confidence in speaking while also encouraging you to think spontaneously in English.
That's such a useful tip, Adam. And if you don't have someone to practice with in person, you can always turn to online platforms or language exchange groups to find conversation partners. You might even meet someone from another country who can share their unique New Year traditions with you while you practice speaking English together. It's a wonderful way to connect with people from different cultures, improve your communication skills, and learn something new all at the same time. And remember, the key is to have fun and not worry too much about making mistakes. Every conversation is a step toward fluency.
As you can see, the new year is more than just a time for celebration. It's also an incredible opportunity to learn and grow, especially when it comes to improving your English skills. Whether you choose to watch movies, write resolutions, or engage in conversations, the important thing is to stay curious and keep exploring new ways to practice the language.
Absolutely, Adam. Learning English doesn't have to feel like hard work. It can be something you incorporate into your daily life and special moments, like the new year. So, to all our listeners, we hope you'll try out some of these ideas and make this new year a time of both celebration and progress in your English learning journey. We've already discussed the fun and exciting ways you can celebrate New Year while practicing your English skills. But there's another fascinating aspect we want to explore in this segment. Let's dive into how New Year's traditions themselves can be incredibly beneficial for language learning. You may not realize it, but the activities people engage in and the specific traditions followed during the new year offer great opportunities to learn new vocabulary, improve listening skills, and even practice cultural understanding, which is key in becoming fluent in any language.
That's a fantastic point, Julia. When you think about it, New Year's celebrations often involve a wide variety of activities that require communication, whether it's socializing at parties, making toasts, or sharing New Year's resolutions with others. All of these experiences are chances for you to improve your spoken and written English. Today, we'll go over some specific New Year's traditions and explain how they can help you learn English in a fun and engaging way.
One of the most popular New Year traditions around the world is the making of resolutions. As we mentioned earlier, resolutions are promises or goals that people set for the new year, and they often involve personal growth, self-improvement, or even learning a new skill. This tradition is something that's practiced globally, but the way it's expressed varies. Whether you're writing your resolutions in English or discussing them with others, it's an excellent chance to learn specific vocabulary and sentence structures. For example, you might say, "In the new year, I plan to improve my speaking skills." Or, "This year, I want to read more books in English."
Exactly, Julia. And when you share your resolutions with friends or family, you're not only practicing your speaking and writing skills, but you're also getting feedback. For example, someone might ask you, "How do you plan to achieve that goal?" Or, "What steps will you take?" These types of questions help you practice using future tenses and action verbs. Plus, discussing your resolutions helps you get better at articulating your thoughts and expressing yourself clearly in English, which is an important aspect of fluency. Another essential part of New Year's celebrations in many cultures is the exchange of toasts and greetings. Whether it's at a party, a family dinner, or a gathering with friends, people often raise their glasses and make toasts to welcome the new year. In English-speaking countries, common toasts include phrases like, "Cheers to a prosperous new year," or "Here's to new beginnings." This tradition is a fantastic way to practice using formal and informal greetings in English. You can experiment with different expressions like, "Wishing you all the best in the new year," or "May this year bring you happiness and success." These kinds of phrases are useful not only for New Year's celebrations, but also for formal events or professional situations where you need to wish someone well.
I love that idea, Adam. Toasts are a fun and social way to practice speaking in English while also being part of a celebratory tradition. What's even better is that when you engage in this kind of interaction, you're learning the social etiquette and cultural norms that come with it. For example, in some cultures, people might say, Happy New Year, in more than one language, or they might have a specific toast they always use. So it's a great opportunity to learn about customs while also mastering polite and respectful expressions in English. Many countries have traditional foods they prepare for the new year, and this is another fun way to connect language learning with cultural traditions. Whether it's making New Year's Day pancakes in the United States, eating noodles in Japan for good luck, or preparing a special feast in your home country, food plays a huge role in New Year celebrations. If you enjoy cooking or baking, why not try making a traditional New Year dish in English? You can find recipes online or watch English language cooking shows to learn the language of food preparation. As you read recipes, you'll expand your vocabulary, learn verbs related to cooking, and get comfortable using measurement terms in English. For instance, chop the vegetables, stir the mixture, or simmer for 20 minutes. These are all useful phrases to know, especially if you're following an English language recipe.
That's a brilliant suggestion, Julia. Cooking is not only a practical way to learn new vocabulary, but it's also a wonderful activity to share with others, especially when you're learning English. You could invite a friend or a language partner to cook together, practicing English by discussing the recipe, following instructions, and even talking about food preferences or cooking techniques. It's a hands-on approach to learning that's both educational and enjoyable. And what better way to celebrate the new year than by sharing delicious food with others while practicing your language skills at the same time? Music and songs also play a significant role in New Year's celebrations. In many countries, people gather together to sing traditional songs or listen to festive music to mark the occasion. For instance, in English-speaking countries, the song Auld Lang Syne is often sung as the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve. Learning the lyrics of such songs is an excellent way to practice your pronunciation and rhythm in English. But it's not just about singing. The music itself can teach you new words, phrases, and idiomatic expressions that are commonly used during New Year's celebrations. If you enjoy listening to English language music, try creating a playlist of New Year's songs and pay attention to the lyrics. You might be surprised at how much vocabulary you can pick up just by listening to the tunes.
Absolutely, Adam. And don't forget about the power of lyrics to help you with your listening skills. If you find a New Year's song you really like, try reading the lyrics while listening to the song. This will help you recognize words and understand their meaning within context. Additionally, singing along to the song can improve your pronunciation, especially with tricky words or phrases that are commonly used during the New Year celebrations.
As you can see, New Year's traditions are not just a fun way to ring in the new year. They also offer unique opportunities for learning English. Whether it's through writing resolutions, making toasts, cooking traditional dishes, or singing songs, each tradition provides an opportunity to learn new vocabulary, practice your speaking and listening skills, and even gain a deeper cultural understanding. So, as you celebrate this special time of year, why not take a moment to reflect on how you can use these traditions to enhance your language learning journey?
Exactly, Adam. By combining the joy of celebrating New Year with the excitement of learning English, you can make this holiday both meaningful and educational. We hope that after today's episode, you'll feel inspired to incorporate English into your New Year's celebrations, whether through activities, traditions, or simply reflecting on your resolutions. Remember, every celebration is an opportunity to grow, learn, and connect. And we can't wait to see where this year will take you on your English learning journey. In this segment, we're going to take a deeper look at how New Year's celebrations are more than just a time for fun, food, and fireworks. They also reflect the unique cultural values and beliefs of different societies around the world. The way people celebrate the arrival of a new year is often shaped by their historical experiences, religious practices, and social traditions. By exploring these celebrations in detail, we can gain a better understanding of how diverse cultures view the passing of time, the concept of renewal, and the importance of family, community, and personal growth.
That's a great point, Julia. New Year's traditions can be very telling when it comes to the values a society holds dear. For example, in many cultures, the New Year is seen as a time of reflection and renewal, a moment to pause and think about the lessons of the past year and the possibilities of the future. In some countries, like Japan, there is a strong emphasis on cleansing and starting fresh, while in others, such as Brazil, celebrations focus on community and togetherness. These cultural nuances are not just about how the celebration looks. They reflect much deeper beliefs about what's important in life.
One common theme we see across many New Year celebrations is the central role of family and community. Whether it's gathering for a big meal, attending religious ceremonies together, or simply spending time with loved ones, the act of coming together at the start of a new year is seen as a way to strengthen bonds and reaffirm connections. In countries like Mexico, for example, families often have large dinners and celebrate with fireworks, reflecting the importance of unity and togetherness. Similarly, in Spain, the tradition of eating 12 grapes at midnight, one for each stroke of the clock, is often done with friends and family, highlighting the value of sharing moments of joy with others. This sense of belonging and shared experience during the New Year's celebration reflects a cultural focus on community support and interpersonal relationships.
That's absolutely true, Julia. And the importance of family and community isn't just in the actions themselves, but in the shared language and rituals that are passed down through generations. For example, in Italy, families often gather to enjoy a meal together, and children may be taught how to make traditional New Year's dishes, ensuring that these recipes and customs are preserved. Through language, family members pass down stories, songs, and customs that not only keep traditions alive, but also help each generation connect to their roots and cultural identity. So, in a way, New Year's celebrations become an opportunity to reflect on where you've come from, who you are, and what you want to achieve in the future, all while reinforcing the connections that matter most.
New Year's celebrations are also a reflection of the global value placed on new beginnings and optimism. Across cultures, the arrival of a new year is seen as a chance to start fresh, leave behind past difficulties, and set new goals. In the United States, for example, the iconic Times Square ball drop signifies a clean slate for everyone, and people cheer and embrace one another as a symbol of hope and optimism for the year ahead. This focus on renewal is not just about a change in the calendar, it's about the belief that the future holds limitless possibilities.
Right, Julia. This theme of optimism and new beginnings is not just symbolic, it's deeply embedded in how people approach the coming year. In China, for instance, the Lunar New Year is traditionally associated with the idea of a fresh start. Homes are thoroughly cleaned to sweep away bad luck, and people pay off debts to begin the year with a clean slate. This focus on clearing out the old to make room for the new is an essential part of the cultural attitude towards starting anew, and it teaches the value of letting go of negative experiences in order to embrace better opportunities. It's also reflected in the common New Year's practice of setting resolutions, a way for people to commit to self-improvement, health, and personal growth in the upcoming year.
For many cultures, New Year's is not only a time for celebration, but also a moment for spiritual reflection. In countries with strong religious traditions, like Ethiopia, where the New Year, or Enkutataash, is celebrated in September, people gather for church services to give thanks for the past year and pray for a prosperous new one. In these cases, New Year's is less about parties and more about quiet reflection, prayers, and family gatherings, reinforcing the cultural value of spirituality. This deeper connection to faith and reflection is something that we also see in many parts of the world, such as in Russia, where Orthodox Christians celebrate the New Year according to the Julian calendar.
Exactly. And in many cultures, New Year's celebrations incorporate religious rituals and customs that reflect an understanding of life as a cyclical process, one that's constantly evolving and renewing. For example, In Jewish tradition, the New Year is marked by Rosh Hashanah, a time when individuals reflect on their actions over the past year and ask for forgiveness. This spiritual aspect of the celebration underscores a value placed on self-awareness, accountability, and spiritual growth, all of which are essential to the way people approach the new year. These traditions remind us that the start of a new year isn't just about celebrating, it's also about introspection, reconciliation, and renewal on a deeper, more personal level.
Another cultural value that's closely tied to New Year's traditions is the importance of luck and prosperity. In many cultures, there are specific customs designed to bring good luck in the upcoming year. In Italy, for example, people often wear red underwear on New Year's Eve to ensure good luck and prosperity in the coming year. In Japan, there's a tradition of eating osechi ryori, special foods that symbolize prosperity and longevity. These food items are carefully chosen for their symbolic meanings, like black beans for health and herring roe for fertility.
That's such an interesting custom, Julia. The idea of luck and prosperity is also very prevalent in other parts of the world. For example, in Latin American countries, many people practice the tradition of carrying a suitcase around the block to bring travel and adventure in the new year. Similarly, in Colombia, people walk around with an empty suitcase to symbolize a year full of new experiences. These customs show how different cultures have connected the idea of fortune and success with tangible actions, demonstrating the value placed on hope, positive thinking, and the belief that we can influence our futures through intentional actions.
As we've discussed in this segment, New Year's traditions are much more than fun and festivity. They reveal the core cultural values that shape people's views on family, community, optimism, spirituality, and prosperity. By understanding these traditions, we gain a deeper appreciation of the diverse perspectives people bring to the celebration of the new year. What's even more exciting is that by learning about these customs and their cultural significance, we can enrich our language skills and engage with others in meaningful ways. So, as you continue your English learning journey, remember that the way people celebrate the new year is a reflection of their deeper values and beliefs. Values that can help us connect to each other in a more meaningful way, no matter where we come from.
Absolutely, Julia. The new year is not just a time for personal growth, but a moment for connecting with others and understanding the rich cultural tapestry that makes our world so unique. Through these celebrations, we can learn not just a language, but also the shared human experiences that unite us all, no matter where we live. As you continue to explore New Year's traditions from around the world, we encourage you to reflect on how these values resonate with your own beliefs and practices. As we all know, one of the most popular aspects of New Year celebrations around the world is the tradition of making resolutions. A New Year's resolution is a promise that we make to ourselves to improve our lives, whether it's learning a new skill, breaking a bad habit, or simply becoming a better version of ourselves. Resolutions represent the idea of starting fresh and setting personal goals that help us grow and achieve something meaningful. But why are resolutions so important, and how can they shape our personal growth? Julia, what's your take on this?
That's a great question, Adam. Resolutions are important because they give us a sense of direction and purpose as we step into the new year. They encourage us to reflect on the past and identify areas where we can improve. For example, many people resolve to exercise more, eat healthier, or spend more time with family. Others might set goals related to their careers, education, or hobbies. The beauty of resolutions is that they are deeply personal and tailored to our own aspirations and circumstances. They serve as a reminder that the new year is a chance to take control of our lives and focus on what truly matters to us.
That's so true, Julia. But as inspiring as resolutions can be, many people find it challenging to stick to them. Studies show that most resolutions are abandoned by February. This often happens because we set goals that are too ambitious or vague, or we don't have a clear plan to achieve them. For instance, someone might decide to get fit, but without specific steps like joining a gym or starting a workout routine, it's easy to lose motivation. What do you think is the key to making resolutions that we can actually stick to?
The key is to set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Instead of saying, "I want to get fit," you could say, "I will work out for 30 minutes, 3 times a week, for the next 3 months." This makes your goal clear and gives you a roadmap to follow. It's also important to start small and build gradually. Change doesn't happen overnight, and small, consistent efforts can lead to big results over time. And don't forget to celebrate your progress, no matter how small it seems. Acknowledging your achievements keeps you motivated and reminds you why you started in the first place.
Absolutely, Julia. And for our listeners, one of the best resolutions you can make is to improve your English skills. Whether it's practicing speaking every day, watching English movies with subtitles, or listening to podcasts like The English Globe, there are so many ways to make progress. Learning a language is a journey, and every step you take brings you closer to fluency. If you're consistent and patient, you'll see amazing results by the end of the year. Julia, do you have any advice for our listeners who might want to make language learning resolutions?
Yes, Adam. My advice is to set realistic and enjoyable goals. For example, you could aim to learn 5 new words a day, read 1 English article a week, or have a short conversation in English with a friend or tutor. The key is to make your learning experience fun and engaging so that it becomes a natural part of your daily life. Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a learning opportunity, and the more you practice, the more confident you'll become. Remember, learning a language is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Take it one step at a time and you'll be amazed at how far you can go.
That's excellent advice, Julia. And now, we'd love to hear from our listeners. What are your New Year's resolutions? Are you planning to improve your English, learn a new skill, or perhaps travel to a new country? Share your goals with us in the comments or on our social media pages. We'd love to know what you're working on and how we can support you in your journey. And if you have any tips or experiences with sticking to resolutions, don't hesitate to share those as well. Your stories could inspire others to stay motivated and committed to their goals.
Resolutions are a powerful way to start the new year with purpose and positivity. Whether it's learning a new language, developing a new habit, or simply spending more time with loved ones, every resolution is a step toward becoming the best version of yourself. So, as you celebrate the new year, take a moment to think about what you want to achieve and how you can make it happen. Remember, the most important thing is not to be perfect, but to keep moving forward. Every effort counts, and every small success is worth celebrating.
That's beautifully said, Julia. So, to all our listeners, let's make this new year a time of growth, learning, and meaningful change. Let's embrace the opportunity to set goals, work toward them, and celebrate every step of the way. Thank you for being part of the English Globe community. We're here to support you in your journey, and we're excited to see all the amazing things you'll achieve this year. Happy New Year, and here's to a fantastic year ahead.
As we come to the end of today's episode, we want to take a moment to thank all of our listeners for joining us on this exciting journey of exploring New Year's traditions from around the world. We've shared a lot of interesting stories, facts, and cultural insights with you, and we hope you've enjoyed every moment of it as much as we did. It's always a pleasure to bring you content that not only helps you learn English, but also connects you to the wonderful diversity of cultures that exist in our world. From the Times Square ball drop in the United States to the traditional dragon dances in China, the traditions we've discussed today have been a true reflection of the shared human experience of starting anew and celebrating the joys of life.
That's right, Julia. It's been an incredibly enriching experience to explore these celebrations and see how they embody the values of different societies, from family and community to hope, prosperity, and spiritual reflection. The world is full of unique and fascinating customs, and through each one, we can learn more about the people who practice them. As you listen to this podcast, we hope that you don't just take away facts about New Year's celebrations, but also a deeper appreciation for the cultural diversity that shapes our world. Remember, learning a language is not just about vocabulary and grammar. It's about understanding the cultures, traditions, and experiences that give meaning to the words we use.
Before we sign off, we want to remind you to stay connected with us here at the English Globe. If you enjoyed today's podcast, be sure to subscribe to our channel and join us in the future for more episodes on a wide variety of interesting and educational topics. We've got so much more in store for you, from learning about global celebrations to exploring everyday life, psychology, and the skills you need to become a confident English speaker. Each episode is carefully crafted to help you grow in your English learning journey, so you'll always have something new to discover and improve.
Yes, don't forget to subscribe to the English Globe channel if you haven't already, so you never miss out on an episode. We're excited to continue bringing you content that's both fun and educational. If you have any questions or ideas for topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out to us in the comments or on social media. Your feedback means the world to us, and we're always eager to know how we can make your learning experience even better. So, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next episode, where we'll dive into another exciting topic to help you improve your English and learn about the world at the same time.
And now, as we wrap up today's episode, we want to take a moment to wish each and every one of you a Happy New Year. Whether you've already celebrated or are looking forward to the festivities, may the coming year bring you happiness, growth, and new opportunities to learn and explore. We hope that this year will be filled with exciting moments, positive changes, and, of course, plenty of opportunities to improve your English. Remember, every new year is a chance for a fresh start, so let's embrace it with open hearts and minds, ready to face all the adventures that lie ahead.
Happy New Year, everyone! We want to thank you once again for being a part of the English Globe community. We're so grateful to have you with us on this journey, and we look forward to all the new experiences and learning opportunities the coming year will bring. Whether you're in a country that's already celebrated or still waiting for the clock to strike midnight, we hope the new year is filled with joy, peace, and plenty of exciting moments for you and your loved ones. Keep learning, keep growing, and we'll be here every step of the way to support you in your English learning adventure.
So, once again, thank you for being with us today. We appreciate your time and your commitment to improving your English with the English Globe. We can't wait to bring you more fun and insightful content in the upcoming episodes. Take care, stay positive, and we'll see you next time. Happy New Year, and goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Here's to a bright and successful new year filled with learning, growth, and fun. Happy New Year, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the English Globe.